All right, still watching markets midday right here on CNBC TV18.
Do you advise a Nifty trader at this point in time? Is it a great time to short?
No, not exactly, because I think for the last, since the time budget has been over and markets have seen, trading in the range of 4,620 on the lower side and 5,000 yesterday's peak on the highest side. Now, if I take a look, the implied vols or the options also are very much factoring in these oscillations, the wild oscillations. 10% on the upside from 4620 and then again back 9%. So till the time markets come out of this range, there won't be a clarity and this chaos would continue.
What are you seeing really in terms of this market finding a bottom at this point in time, Anant, given the kind of futures build-up you're seeing on the index?
Look, futures build-up is largely hedge positions. You have to understand that people who are actually worried about their portfolio, they are largely looking on hedging their positions, cash positions in the Nifty futures, and that's largely because the other indices like CNX 100 or a junior Nifty or a bank Nifty don't offer that kind of a liquidity. So even portfolios which are predominantly a mid-cap portfolio or a theme-based, sectoral theme-based portfolio are, getting hedged by Nifty, and that's adding on to the pressure.
Okay. We also have with us a fundamental analyst, is Balakrishnan, the ED at Centrum Capital joins us. Bala, you're a veteran of many such ups and downs. How bad is it looking to you? What are you all advising your clients to sell at every rally, to start buying at all?
Our advice is that the next 2 quarters are going to be extremely delicate. Today morning we were talking to somebody saying, if this market keeps going like this, what do you do? I said, see, look, you look at it very dispassionately. Today the market is down 500. At that point it was like that. I said, if 10 more sessions and you have the index at 10,000, do you think it will go there? So he says, no. I said, what level will you start buying? He says, most stocks do look interesting now, so I will make my shopping list and start buying. So I look at it from that perspective. See, what has changed is really, I think we are now climbing the wall of worry. From optimism we have moved to pessimism without even a bridge of skepticism in between, when I think that we ran the markets up to 20,000. So what we are saying is the corporate story, not much has changed. And everybody had forecast that the earnings growth in 08-09 would be slower than what it was in this year. So what has changed is the panic which is spreading like a contagion from overseas. Bulk buyers are now becoming sellers, because if you take a hedge fund, most of them have been leveraged and investing into markets. So they have their margin calls and redemptions. They are selling off. And mutual funds domestically, I think they probably are sitting on 5-6% cash. At some stage they would come in, but what we feel is that there will be a kind of a trading zone for the next couple of quarters, which could be till all the bad news gets washed out. So till that time we are telling people to be cautious. If you like some stocks, pick at them, don't put all your money in one go. We're taking a call at between about 14,000 to 18,000 for the next quarter.
Okay. Bala, the market has recovered just a wee bit. 4650 appears to have given some kind of a support for the market, at least in the last few minutes. Let's get Anant in on this. Anant, where are the supports congregating if you looked at the put call numbers?
If I take the supports on the put call side, if my options setup says that, predominantly all the puts in the markets which are there, for example, if I take the put option build-ups from 5,100, 200 strikes or to all the way to 4,600 strikes, I find that, Lata, majority of the positions or put options are now in the money. So, in the money puts, when the markets fall even by 1 point, the gamma risk for a seller of put becomes very high, and it's almost very tough to manage that gamma risk. At the same time, if you look at the call option side, majority of the selling starts from 4,900, 4,800 call options and goes all the way up to 5,500. So they are all OTM puts. Now this actually tells me that the upside for the markets are capped somewhere between 5,000 and 5,150 odd levels.
Okay, Bala,
and on the downsides,
yeah, please go ahead.
On the downsides, On the downsides, if I take a look, that yes, technically the immediate low of 4620, I know we have come down to around as low as 4640 today. So if that 4620, that's the Monday low holds, then it's okay. We will be back in the trading range of 4,600 to 5,000. But if it gives away, the big question is, would it give away? And if it gives away, then let me tell you, Lata, let the markets find its own bottom.
Okay. Well, Anand, thanks much for joining us. Bala, one quick question. What is the shopping list?
Well, I wouldn't like to name specific stocks, Lata, but what we are looking at is domestic stories which have less exposure to global trade, which don't have immediate fundraising plans, because we are seeing a lot of fundraising ambitions getting thwarted by the global market conditions and the expectation of buyer-seller being now getting further and further. So looking at domestic plays, good quality, visible earnings, not into 2014 earnings kind of stories, and build your portfolio around that. And we're not advising sales on your portfolios. This is not a good time to get out of equities, because as and when the rallies do come, they tend to be quite sharp. And the kind of intraday trading which we are seeing is the midpoint of the day doesn't tell you the story. The end of the day could be something totally different, so don't look at that. But keep your shopping list. We have a list of about 10 to 12 stocks which we give to our clients, which we think would be value plays and see returns of 40 to 50% over a 12-month period.
Okay, Bala, thank you very much for joining us with that strategy. Markets at this point in time just a tad better. The Nifty getting close to 15,500. The Sensex getting close to 15,500, and the Nifty just about managing to hold 4650 at this point in time. We'll take a break and come back.